Good morning. Welcome to the world of conscious positive thinking with MJ, where your thoughts become your power and your mindset becomes your compass. MJ is here to guide you through a journey of self-awareness, emotional mastery, and empowered living.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Yeah, man. Just feel it. Let it flow. Peace and love in the air, you know. Woke up with the sun on my face. Breathing deep in this holy space. Feeling good, no need to race. The rhythm of life moves at its pace. Good vibes rise like smoke in the sky. Love in our hearts, no need to ask why. Dance with the trees, sing with the breeze. The world of conscience puts the mind at ease. Colors swirl in my open mind. Truth and joy in the thoughts I find. A smile's the cure, a word's the key. Positive thinking sets you free. Good vibes rise like smoke in the sky. Love in our heart.
Hey, welcome to Monday morning. That's right, it's a Monday morning and we are already almost over. I mean, we only have like 10 days left of April and we're cruising and we are out and about these days because it has been such beautiness. All last week after the show, oh my gosh, we got so much done. We were picking up the branches that fell. We were fixing the fences that the deer raised. It was up in the high 70s, low 80s. And the last 2 days we've had snow. We have snow. I was like, who would have thought we had snow already? But anyway, 420. Does anybody realize today, right now, today is 420. Not 419 and give yourself a minute. No, it is 420. So ample amounts of energy on you 420ers, 420 a.m., 420 in the afternoon. Hey, I'm watching you out there. It's a good day for a good day. And so what is 042026 mean? It's resulting number 5. It's a 5, folks. So you are being guided to move in a new direction. Hand over any fears and worries that you may have regarding the changes that are presenting in your life right now to the angels. It's moving in a new direction and it will inspire adventure and it will prove to be a very positive step for you. Angel power word. Wait for it. Woo! That Aries. I tell you, this Aries energy. Romantic partnership. Woo-hoo! Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. On 420, you got to get it on. Get it on, girl. So, and now we move into what does it really break down? So we already know the 26. The angels know that you feel empowered when you feel compassion for others. They now ask that you feel the same compassion for yourself, and it's very important that you say no to requests that make you feel uneasy. You don't have to say yes. Don't let somebody pressure you into saying yes or just doing like, well, the rest of the sheep are going this way. No, we don't have to. No to requests that make you feel uneasy. Energies that make you feel, conversations, back away. I don't practice. And I don't preach it too if I don't practice. Hence my hiatus for the last 2-3 months. Remember, we just talked about this last week. So no Trust these sensations in your body, these that are your inner compass. The most divine compass points and knowledge you have is directly in here, and it's always there for you. Your angel number contains the number 42 today. It's the romance angels, and they are all around at the moment. They have heard your prayers associated with love. They are working behind the scenes to bring you that perfect love, or to enhance the relationships that you are currently in. That springtime love is right here. It's grabbing us. We need to find love in our hearts instead of frustration, anger, and debacle with the energies. Find the love in your heart. It's here. It's 420 day, and it's telling us we got to find that love. Now we got to figure out, what does that 20 mean? The angels have been steadily influenced around you recently. If you haven't felt that vibration, as a result, you are about to feel a renewed sense of purpose in your life. May take you on a different journey. It may take you down a different path. You'll be like, I don't know how to do this. And you're like, it's showing you that you do. So be positive deep in your mind. I've been told I'm a writer since first, second grade at Second Ward School. I was illiterate till I was like in fifth grade. Who do I think that I could read and write? But people seem to think I can. So guess what? Here we are. And it's going to be one of those, I guess I can, those little red cabooses that go up the lane. So here we're going to try that one out, right? That renewed sense of purpose in your life. Think about it. The angels will be encouraging you to take action on a project that sparks your attention, or maybe to work for a cause that you feel very passionate about. By devoting your energy to the project or cause, you will be rewarded with great inner peace. That's our angel messages for the day. So, welcome, everybody. Let's get moving. We got a big show today. Our show today is going to encompass quite a bit of different things. Why? Because a lot of people are still writing on feeds on Facebook. You're still doing it. Why? Who cares what your thoughts are? Seriously, it would be the same thing. Who cares what my thoughts are? You're just letting your ego frustrate you. You're letting your judgment and your ego. There's no judgments. Christians, Buddhists, Judas, there's no judgment. I can give you any of them. Judgment is not for you. So wherever you learn that trait, rip it out. Like a wired fish, rip it, just rip it. And then here we are. You don't have to be so sad about this energy. You don't have to be angry. You're angry because you think you know. But do you really know? Ask yourself that. How do you think you really know? Are you there? Are you there firsthand? Are you watching it go down? Or is somebody else a skeptic who is talking in your ear about stuff? Or you're reading it and you have no idea where it comes from because there's no sources. Either way you hack it, it's fooey balooey, and it kind of just sucks. But we move on, and we're going to teach this today. How do we move on? So let's getting down to the nitty gritties here. So staying consciously positive while the remaining people in the world are just in an uproar. So how do we do this, MJ? How do I stop writing? Well, if you are one who constantly wants to scroll on Facebook, you're not going to get away from it. That's unfortunate. You have to be willing to step aside. You have to be willing to understand that the energy might not be yours. Okay. This might not be your energy, and it's frustrating you because things are not balancing for you with this energy. So for instance, we have a choice, right? We have a choice to hear what is laud and what we don't need as law. Does that make sense? I want that to balance. I really want that to balance for you, because there are constitutional Bill of Rights, whether you like them or not. It is the foundations of which the United States was here for, right? If you don't like it, then move to another country. and see what their immigration policies and see how you'll like living there. Because all you people who want to write nastiness or who want to use ridiculous language, even on podcasts and censorships, help that creation of that division of the world's energy right now, your karma's yours. You need to step away. Honestly, you do, because you're going to be tied with this and you're going to be angry and resentful and mean and miserable. And then you get depressed and you get fatigued. And then you have just nothing but anger that comes out of your mouth. So step away. I love the people who say, I am, what is it? I am a very educated white progressive woman. No, you're a Karen. Because you have no common sense. You have no social skills. I have ran into so many of these. If you would stop, just stop. I understand, but people stop looking at it as party division. You have to stop this. You have to look as it's balancing stuff that's coming back in, right? Because things were changed. Well, you left all these people over here, when change happened. And they're suffering, but you're doing good. So now the change comes back and now it's just the opposite, right? They're doing good, you're doing bad. So how come we can't just get into this? How come we can't just get into this beauty? Well, let's find out. Let's get into it, because there's no time like the present to get into it. So let's just take a big, deep breath. A short one. Hold it. Wow, didn't that feel good? That's one of the key factors in this whole journey. So we are gathering at a time when the world feels very loud, fast moving, and at times very overwhelming for all of us. Then there is a constant stream of information, emotion, and energy moving through our lives so rapidly, it's like a tailspin for us. We're either, all these emotions, right? All of these emotions come out with just one text or just one blurb about blah, blah, blah. Right? And then all of a sudden these range of emotions come flying. And so some of it inspires us and some of it challenges us very, very deeply. In fact, some of it challenges us very deeply to the core. Right, wrong, and different. It challenges us to a core. And when that happens, what happens? Our psyches break down, right? Our ego steps in, our judgment steps in, we lose our faith boundaries, we lose our understanding boundaries of our mind centers, and it all goes patooey. So today, we are not here to ignore what is happening in the world, but we are here to learn how to move through it consciously, with positives, with awareness, strength, and spiritual alignment. Oh, I'm not a spiritual person. Well, if you go to church and you believe in a divine energy, God, or whatever you call it, then yeah, you are a spiritual person. You probably just don't understand that realm of religion, spirituality to consciousness. But you are, right? You must have spirit in your soul to feel God. You must have that faith portal open to feel that spiritual alignment. So, because staying positive is not about pretending that everything is fine. Like, I don't want you to have that disbelief either. It's about choosing how we respond to everything that is not. There you go. Are you choosing to let your fingers tap, 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 tap on your, oh, I'm going to tell him, or that's ego. Get your ego out of the way. Once your ego gets out of the way, then we don't have to worry about your judgments, right? And that's how this works. Ego, tap it out, tap that thymus. We learned this. breathing techniques to tap, right? And it's all there, right? Staying positive is not about pretending everything is fine. I want people that are like, oh, she's, she says, oh, she's positive, but everything's not fine. The more that you tell yourself you are okay, that's Buddhism. I'm okay. I'm okay. Your body, your mind is better. But when you keep having these negative aspects and you keep reminding people that you're not okay and that you keep telling, okay, then it's time for you to call, some emotional support, mental health hotline, because you need to tell yourself everything's okay. We got this. Everything's good. We are good today. And by being good today, that means we're good every day. And that is awesome. So it's really choosing how we're going to respond or not respond and or back up. And then it's like, oh, well, I had to say something. Did you? Do you have daddy issues, mommy issues, authoritative issues, egoic issues, narcissistic issues? For anybody who says, I had to, right? I had to break that chain. I understand it. You want your voice to be heard, right? Your voice. How's that voice? Is that voice in your choice? Is that voice going to help you? That voice, right? So let's understand that right now, people everywhere are feeling shifts. They're feeling emotional shifts, mental shifts, physical shifts, spiritual shifts. Even those who are not spiritually aware can sense that something's changing. So if you say, oh, I'm an atheist, you feel the change coming because you're getting pushed to do things. You're feeling the chaotic energy, right? You're feeling the, I gotta go. I got time, right? That's that anxiousness. That's that energy shift. So even if you say, MJ, I'm, I don't believe in God and the atheist, right? Or the Scientology or whatever the rest, right? It's the same philosophy. Mental, emotional, physical. These are all ways, right? Spiritually, these are all ways that we are going through this energy that in a total, we all have to go through. We all have to live through it. We all have to be here for it. It's not just one. It's not just the other. No, we all in a collective on this world have to get through this energy, and we have to get it within this energy so that it is a beautiful place to be able to say, it is energy of a collective. Where does it hit? Where is it hitting, right? So energy is always going to be moving. I mean, that's just life. Look at Schumann's resonance. It constantly shifts. Our parameters on Earth shift as it goes around, and the sun and the moons go around, and all these other comets and these things that are projecting a wave, right? Energy waves can wobble. Well, then if we're wobbling, then this is this chaos of energy. If we're wobbling, it all works. I mean, this is the thing, is we all have to be aware. And that's the clue, is to become aware. And when we become aware, our thoughts carry energy. So you could sit back and go, oh my God, what the hell? This guy's a jackass. Well, that's your energy. That's a wave. You're sending that out. Energy's always moving. So even thoughts are energy. So anytime you think radical, anytime you think one side or the other, right? Or anytime you don't want to balance, your thoughts carry energy, your words carry energy, your texts carry energy, and environments are carrying the energy right along with you. Wow, what a division in this world, huh? Because some people say white, the other one says black. Some people say go, some people say stop. So there's the energy. It is a collective energy. And it is an energy that the world at large needs to handle. And if we don't, you'll see the fall of a lot of different colonizations like we have in the past, which they're digging out, right? They're digging out these colonizings of the Aztecs, of the Mayans, of the Geisha, of the Egyptians, of the Tasmanians. They're all over the place. Total. Look at Mount Vesuvius, another world disaster, right? Took out Herculaneum, took out Pompeii. Whole colonizing gone. Right. Think of that. Think of that if we don't get ourselves together. Think of that if we cannot understand. Just it's an amazing thought, right? So, and when as the collective energy becomes that heavy, fear, division, uncertainty, anger, resistance, resentment, it all affects us. And then we are not grounded in who we are because we have just followed the rest of the sheep into that deep, dark slaughterhouse instead of just back away. Back away. Get your emotions, get your feelings under control. If you are a person who's working 7 days a week, shame on you. Your body doesn't have a chance to reset. When you don't reset the cells of your body and taking even the Sabbath day, Sundays off, I'm not saying, but man, give yourself a break. Allow yourself to be happy. Allow yourself to walk in these beautiful mountains, by a stream, in an ocean. Go swimming, go diving, go surfing, paddleboard, go snowshoeing if there's still snow on your mountains, or, go do anything. Go take the tracks. Go drive down to the state park and really become aware why we have state parks. Become aware why things are the way they are. Are you focused on nothing but ridiculous news feeds every minute of it? Why? Trust me, if the world's going to end, what are you going to do? Is that your fear? It has to be a fear somewhere. So we're going to try to back these fears out because it can't go on like this. And then you think, wow, is it truly a TDS situation? Because politicians have done shit for 200 years. After the first 50 years, nothing really got done in politics. It was all back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back. And then when the Clintons got in, it started, and not pointing, it's just the era of. It started to crumble and it started to get worse. Actually, it was JFK, but so it started getting worse. Yeah. And so where are we again? Where's the collective on the earth when this happens? Sometimes it may not even be us. Sometimes it may just be, others. So when collective energy becomes heavy, fear, division, uncertainty, that's what we just talked about. So it all goes into one. So the question becomes, how do we stay centered when everything around us feels unsteady? If any of you out there said the answer begins with awareness and consciousness, I love you, because that is where it's at. You must become aware. Conscious awareness is the very first step in healing the centers right now that are in world energy. So we got to take a really quick break. I'm going to see what our sources are. Oh, and the widget. Again, check up in the corner. Here we go. Die Tired. We have a collectiveness between Die Tired and MBR to raise some funds. So here at MBR, I think Terry Lynch took a hold of this, and she is responsible. So that little checker up there, I'm going to blink it. See, you're going to blink it. There you go. So that little widget, just go ahead, hold your finger down on there. And then when it comes right back up, you'll be able to go directly to the store and get your shirt. They are beautiful black shirts with, of course, Beaker is involved, our mascot, and Die Tired. So we hope this veteran band is inspirational with its funding, with all the shirt sales. And I hope that, I know that goodness is moving forward in both MBR and Die Tired. So click onto that widget. Okay, now we have to go. And we'll do a little motivational speaking, right? So let's calm the waters with Beaker. I'm MJ. This is the World of Conscious Positive Thinking. We'll be right back.
Even ducks know the calmest waters come after the storm.
Whenever things get rough or it feels like you're at the edge, remember this: storms pass.
Tough times don't last, but tough people do.
Every setback is just a setup for a comeback. Keep quacking forward. 90% of what we worry about in future never happens. Whenever things get rough or it feels like you're at the edge, remember this: storms pass.
Tough times don't last, but tough people do.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.net.
Hey, welcome back. Okay, so we're in conscious awareness. So to live consciously means to be aware of what we're thinking, what we're feeling, and allowing into our space. Our sixth sense of space is our sixth sense of energy. So many people, sorry, my screen here, I'm on a core bouncer today. I don't know if my core can handle it, but I'm on a core bouncer. So many people moving through life, reacting, but conscious living asks us to pause and observe. And you're going to say, MJ, what are you pausing and observe? I said, I don't care if it's air that you're, have you ever been aware of air? Think about that. Ask yourself throughout the day, what am I feeling right now? That's a good one. What am I feeling? Where's the feeling coming from? Is this my feeling, or am I picking up it from the world or wherever I am at the moment? These are simple awareness questions that create separation, because especially between you and the chaos. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What am I feeling? Am I part of it? If I stay, is it going to get worse? If I stay, will it be, ask yourself these questions. It is always, always, always okay to say no. Don't be a sheep. It's always okay to use common sense. We have to look at all of these different angles, okay? This simple awareness just creates that separation between the ego's mind and truly what's happening around the world. You begin to realize some things when you do this. If you just step away, you're not energy passing through. You are the one observing it. Right? Michael, right? The book of Michael, where he steps out of the chaos and he just watches. He watches the chaos. Step out without tick, 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 ticks, or without any of that crap. Step away from it. You don't need to respond. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody doesn't care, right? And really, do you really care what they're not even influential. They're given money by us. So it's kind of like, I don't want to know where, I don't, how do I want to say this? I don't care what the rest of the people who surround me are doing. If it hits something of sadness, I need to step back. If it's anywhere in my heart space, you can guarantee I will step back to become that observance of awareness. What they said, how they said it. If I become angry about it, I really need to walk away and think about, that's on me. I talk about this all the time. When you get angry, you've allowed that energy, or you have allowed somebody to step within your sixth sense of space, and now it's in your heart, and now you're feeling it. It hurts. It hurts. So we have to let that go. The difference between positivity and avoidance. So this is where it gets tricky. I'm not going to lie. So do we stay between the positivity, or is it we're just avoiding something we don't want to deal with? So let's be very clear. Staying positive does not mean ignoring pain, struggle, or the truth. That's not it at all. And a lot of people come back and they'll say, oh, well, I have to tell you, she doesn't understand what's going on. No, for me, I completely understand. And you should say that too. I completely understand that I am not able to join this conversation, or I am not able to be in this energy right now. I understand that because it doesn't make me feel good. It's lowering my vibration. I don't like it. So the true positive is rooted in clarity, not denial. It's clarity that I want to step back. I don't want to ignore it and not understand it, but true positivity comes from the root of having clarity on both sides. Or if somebody doesn't want to move and understand to make a balance or to even listen, I understand that as well. So avoidance says nothing is wrong. Conscious positivity says things may be a little bit difficult, but I still choose to respond with clarity, strength, peace, and love. That's who we need to be, right? Understand not everybody thinks alike. Understand that just because this group is doing it doesn't mean I have to. It's like your bunch of friends jump off the bridge, right? What's that old saying? Am I going to jump off the bridge? Well, no, they're nuts. Look, they're all laying down there with broken ankles, broken legs, broken necks. Why am I going to jump off that bridge? Now, that's a choice. So our choices are always very clear. Our choices are always in the realm of positive. That's not a positive, jumping off the bridge. So I probably wouldn't do it. But this is where your divine spiritual maturity begins. If people say they believe in God and they're spewing garbage and texting back comments on Facebook or social medias, on X or wherever it is, their spiritual maturity isn't there. It is through strength that we can have conscious positives and understand it. Spiritual grounding in uncertain times. So this is a big fear, right? Because people, they're not, let's just put a fact out here. Right now, our majority of our world has never gone through a life where there was apprehensions at war. Think about it. The children who were born in the 90s, yeah, they heard about 9/11. Some of them remember, some of them don't. Most of them in 91 would never remember Desert Storm. But at 9/11, they might remember Bush saying, I'm going to go get, or Obama who took out Osama bin Laden and took it, you know what I mean? They might understand those, but they were like, well, that wasn't war. That's the mind. This is how we have to understand. This is a mind center. This mind center sometimes can't even understand in a physical sense, maybe in an inherited Akashic library sense they can, but who's there? There's only a fraction of us who can actually go back into our Akashics or go back into a past without a guided meditation or a psychologist helping to amply pull it. Does that make sense? Okay. So it's not that you're to remain that spiritual, it's not necessarily meaning that we have to deny it. So this is where spiritual maturity does begin. So now we have the spiritual growing into the uncertain times, but in our spiritual, it's not about escaping the world. It's about being fully present within it without losing yourself. So I'm going to say that again. To remain spiritual, to have faith, is not about escaping the world or any of its antidotes. And people goes, I don't listen, so I don't know. I don't listen, so I don't know. That's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. Because you don't listen, it does not mean that it's an excuse. I'm going to preach that again. Because you're not listening to the TV or the news or anything else, and when you ask a question to somebody, they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so maybe that is their way of justifying in the world. And there is no, if they don't care what's going on in the world, and the only thing that they understand is beauty, love, healing, and that's all they care about, their life is actually on a different plane than everybody else in the world. So the chaos may not affect them in the realm of somebody else who has a more full balance of energetics of around the world. And that is not putting somebody down because they don't want to listen to it. Sooner or later, they're going to have to find a headline, or sooner or later, they're going to have to vote, or sooner or later, they're going to have to understand what's happening. And we only pray for those people who want to stick their hand in the sands and not pay attention. Like I turn it off. I tell you to turn it off, but turn it off that you're not 24/7. I understand where people have to listen, not judge it. Okay, so that's going on. And then we come right back and we come right back away. So these are all different places that we can understand and have a more positive go, a more positive way of living and going forward. So one of the biggest ways to do this is grounding. How many times have you heard somebody say ground in? Grounding means being connected to your body, being aware of your breath, and being rooted in the present moment. When the mind starts racing into fear or future thinking, grounding brings you back. We live in the moment. We live in the present. Spirituality always remains in the present. We're not fortune tellers or whatever. We're not predicting futures. We are living in today. Are you okay? Yes. Then why all the freaking mouth garbage and finger tapping garbage? Doesn't need to be there. Why? Because I'm grounding myself. I'm looking around. Am I okay in the present moment? Yes. If you are not in that present moment okay, then you need to reach out immediately. If you can't say, are you okay? And you say, I'm okay. I'm not saying you're great. I'm not saying that you're feverishly or severely in pain. I'm asking you, are you okay? You need to ask yourself that. MJ, are you okay? Tap, right? Tap, 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 tap. It revitalizes the central nervous system, the endocrine system, the inside lymphatic. It brings it back into getting that breath of air, sitting firm and tall, and understanding you are okay. You don't need to follow the sheep. You can retrain your mind. I love the people who are between 20 and like 35, that 15 year. And I hear them. And you might hear them going, well, you want to blame us, but look who taught us. That is the epitome of narcissistic. So you are at this age, and yet you still want to point to who taught you something, even though your common sense knows differently, but yet you want to point a finger. Remember those fingers, right? My dad taught me that. 3 come right back at you. So be careful who you're pointing a finger to judge, because you weren't there when it went down, or you were infantile when it went down. Every era brings a different energy. This is what this is about, the world's energy. This particular energy is world-based. Everybody is feeling the same way you are, okay? So when the mind starts racing into fear or future thinking, grounding brings you back. Simple practice. Place your feet firmly on the ground. Take them damn shoes off for 2 seconds. Put your feet in dirt or grass. Take slow, intentional breaths. Step outside and connect with nature. Sit in the stillness. even for awareness of the air. Breathe that in. It's the awareness. That's what people, breathing is such a healing modality that people miss. They miss it. And when you start to understand taking breath work and understanding the awareness of air, of your breath, you could push your breath right into pain. You could push your breath right into high divination to climb higher in vibration. You can push your breath so it reaches out into energetic fields that you don't even realize that are extending on all sides of your body. It is the consciousness that you want. Okay? So they're powerful resets for your entire body or your entire system just by grounding in. Protecting your energy without closing your heart. Many people feel that the need to shut down emotionally to protect themselves, but protection does not require disconnection. So be careful. People always say, well, I'm protecting, so I'm not going to talk to them. Okay. When you hear me say push away from people, that doesn't mean that I disassociate. I just set my boundaries at the moment. That's what this is. We're setting boundaries. We must set boundaries. We have to understand that everybody has their own journey, their own path, and their own thinking. When your thinking becomes so far off kilter to everybody else, you are going to lose traction of people who are at your side. I had to go through it. I was told the higher that I climbed in divination into pure conscious and positive conscious, I would lose people around me because they cannot even believe I would think not to punish somebody. They couldn't even believe that I can't watch the violence. They couldn't, because I healed it. It took many, many, many years. And what a beautiful, different world that I see. And I have to be compassionate. Remember my last week in the beginning of January, I said, my word of the year is compassion. I have to have compassion to watch the people struggle and learn their own life lessons. I can assist them and tell them how I got through it, but that might not be their journey. They might have to full-fledged go into a helter-skelter text and flab out their mouth for karma. I don't know. It's not mine anymore. It used to be. I broke that pattern. I broke those chains of anger and resentments. I broke them. I hope you can too with how we're saying. If not, reach out. Reach out. You can see it down here. TWOCPT at mbradio.us. You can see any emails that come in. You can also do TWOCPT at Gmail if it's easier to remember. Either one will get to me, and either one I'd be honored to help. All right. So you can always remain open, passionate, and loving, and while also having these strong boundaries. Not everything deserves your energy. Not everyone deserves your energy. So if you're trying to help heal and you're always getting pushed, or you're always getting slammed, or you're always getting ridiculed, back away. Especially you light workers out there. I know quite a few of you watch. This is not a moment where you think you can help the world over. You can help those who are asking for help. You can push peace. You can push balance. You can push energy like peace and balance, right? We have attunements pushing world peace. Loka, Sambastu, right? Loka, say your lokas, right? Loka, not in crazy Spanish. No, loka as in mantras, right? Giving your God, giving to God, giving to the Almighty. Loka, I'm sending, I need your peace. I need the balance throughout the world, right? Of peace mantra, peace energy source. So that can also have your energy being pushed. You're not healing. You're pushing that energy for anybody who wants to grab onto it. That's the difference. You can grab onto the energy, or you could pass it by. It's not for camaraderie, and it's not for people who don't believe in the highest power of divine energy to balance and clarify and understand that even Moses parted for the light and positive and closed it right back up for the evil. So does Moses have blood on his hands? Think about that as an awareness. Be mindful of what you're watching, of what you're listening to, who you surround yourself with, the conversations you engage in. Energy enters through attention. If energy is causing you to have that attention, it's already captured you. It's the subliminal movie theaters who right in the middle of the movie subliminally put popcorn and it's such a quick second, your mind catches it, but your physical sight doesn't. Remember that? They had to take them out. They were subliminally impressing you to go get food at the movie theaters. They did away with those in, I think, the mid-'80s. But they were subliminal impressions, right? So listening, watching, surrounding yourself in conversations you're engaging in. Energy enters through attention. It's calling your attention. Where your attention goes, your attention follows. So attention and energy, it goes where you direct it. So choose wisely your words, your tones, your actions. Choose wisely, because this will assist you. This will always assist you. And for those of you who are using AI and ChatGPT to fight back with something, remember these are programmed by man. And these programs, it's funny because you can tell when somebody writes something, they don't speak like that. There's not even these words that come out, but yet they're writing every day. And you're looking at it going, that is not your words. That's not even how you feel. So there's people out there who want to trick you that they feel good. Yeah, like a narcissist, right? Oh, I didn't say that. Oh, I don't believe in that. Or their camaraderies they go along with. Be careful. If they can lie to the world, they can lie to you. Be careful. AI is something. AI can get people in a lot of choice problems and a lot of sadness. So just remember that. Yep. So they're not the internal dialogue people. They shape your experience. So when the world feels heavy, the mind may default to fear-based thinking. Why? Because our souls have energetic fear basing. It is one of these things that we are inertly brought into the world with. Our fears, right? God gave fears. That's in the Bible. You can read it. It's in the Quran. It's in all, the fears, right? So now we have the fears that are going to be starting to come based into the play because the world feels really heavy. So what if things get worse? What if I can't handle this? Well, you're handling it right now. Stay in the moment. Stay in the present. Why are we thinking so negatively? Why are we thinking so abstractly? That is no longer part of my regime. Let's get it part of yours. Because things don't go in your way. Why do we fear the worst? Get that out. Where is it coming from? Pull that crap out of that breadbasket because you've suppressed some fears in there to have this constantly. Yet the conscious living invites a shift, right? So if you're living in consciousness, then I'm equipped to handle what comes my way. Most of the members in military, they don't have a choice. So their conscious living, not positive conscious, but their conscious living is, I have it. I got my bullets, I got my gun, they don't have, right? Pride, anger, and what was the other one? Shoot. I forgot the third one on soldiers. It'll come. But anyway, so you have to have that conscious awareness to block out that fear pattern, right? I choose clarity over fear. Get your ducks in a row. Get your ducks. Look at that beaker. Get your ducks in a row. And then I remain steady regardless of external noises. I hear all this going on, but I'm staying like this. I'm staying as the horse because what this is, I disassociate. I disagree. And I don't want to be in that. I don't. Why should you want to be in it? It brings nothing but health issues. How many people in the last year who were not for this administration now have a plethora of issues, right? Because change. Biden, change. How many on the other side? Change. Obama, change. Bush, change. See the change? Get it? Not everyone's going to be happy with the change. It's depending on the small people in the balanced mind frame who can push directives in the country, in the world, right? But if you have the conscious living of that shift and that fear, now we're in trouble. Now we need some counseling, because you're not living in conscious positive. You're living in fear arousement. There's two different things going on here. And that's not good. The external noise has already breached your center of sixth sense. And so that's never a good thing then at that time. Emotional responsibility. Yeah. So if it's too much and now we text, we say things, we do things out of anger, that's on you and only on you. So let's talk about that. So we must take responsibility for our emotional state, not in a way that blames ourselves, but in a way that empowers us. Okay. So you're allowed to feel sadness and you're allowed to feel these things. It's when you stay in them and cause ruckus and cause problems outside, this becomes a major, major problem. And then at that moment, well, that's on you. You're either going to go down fighting or you're going to step out, because your physical, emotional, physiological body can't handle it. Your mental acuities. And that is going to happen. So you are not meant to stay stuck in any of these energetic patterns. We're not. Because that is when we desperately need our help from somebody to get unstuck. And why we're so stuck. What was the lesson? What was in life? What was our lesson that we desperately needed? Emotions are signals to our brain. They're not destinations. They're signals. There are, hey, did you heal this? Or do we still need to heal this? That's how I look at these emotional signals. How far are we going to go? How far are we going to get before we can proclaim that we have healed something? And it comes back. Are we testing, right? It's a test. And it's always a test. It's a test of how far we've come. It's a test of where we are at. It's a test of how well we learned. I am proud to say that I'm to the point now where if I want to say something, I write it all out. I never send it. Why? Because I already healed it. It's like, okay. And then I've just become aware, because my anger was written to the point where I'm going to do it. But then my conscious came in and said, do you really want this argument on you? Do you really want to have to go through and have those who are not healed or not educated come back with their gross stupidities? No, I don't. So what do? I'm happy. I got it off my chest. I wrote it. Not everything is to have it being spoke to somebody who is your wall. They get kind of sick of it too. So write it down. If I see something that if I don't like it, you should see some of my journals. Journaling is the most powerful exercise. Tears coming down. Write it and write it and write it. So that's one way that you can, for your emotions are signals, but they're not destinations. Feel them, acknowledge them, then ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? Find it. This is a whole bunch of ways of just like moving forward. instead of staying within the stuck energy. So then we have the power of our stillness. So in a world that is constantly having demands of movement forward or movements going on, and we can't even get out of the one before we're into the other one, that's the crazy energy right now. It's like body. We're not used to this. 250 years, there has never been somebody like this moving and changing and shifting. My gosh. Can we breathe? We got to breathe, right? Because the stillness becomes sacred. Breathe and be still. This isn't your task at hand. This is somebody else's task at hand. And thank God, let them take that. I will be here to honor and support that energy because I'm not there. Stillness is where clarity lives. Stillness is where guidance becomes clear. If you cannot pause, step back, breathe, meditate, take these moments of removing yourself from the world's energy, stillness, be aware of air. The stillness, air's not still. So when you think of stillness, now you see the air. Even a few minutes a day can shift everything. Turn off the noise. Sit with yourself. At first, it may just feel like, a really uncomfortable situation. Like the first time I tell somebody, we need to play some solfeggio frequencies or we need to play some beta frequencies. Man, the minute you start turning on the music, they're like, oh my God, turn that off. Oh, do we have to heal something there? That's how I look. So they said, if you don't like a smell, there's something to heal, right? There's something of a vibration. There's something to heal. Because true 100% God divine, I am okay consciousness, I would not have a hiccup with anything. A smell, a taste, a lighting, nothing would consume this physical being of a hindrance. Oh my God, that TV's so loud, I gotta turn it down. Gosh, that light is so bright. I'm trying to sleep. Can you turn it down? These are the moments that you become aware of whys. I'm a why girl, if you haven't noticed. I don't like not having my whys. I enjoy my whys. I enjoy understanding and seeing the outcomes when you have the whys, right? So we don't want to make it feel uncomfortable. That's the bottom line. But over time, it becomes your strongest source of stability is just to breathe and remain still. Turn off your noises. Please, if you're listening, don't work 7 days, 24/7. You need you time, even if it is 1 day a week, to sit in silence, stillness, shut it down. Honor you and your body that way. Some people out there, MJ, my body works great 7 days a week. No, it doesn't. Nobody's does. And if you can literally not pause every time you turn around, somebody must go back into a pausing or a stillness. You have to reset. If you don't reset, you're making choices that you probably would not make having a very fresh mind or a fresh awareness of something. So just let that sink in. Connection to something greater, right? So now, no matter your belief system, whether you connect to God, source, spirit, or simply just a higher awareness, connection matters. When we try to carry everything alone and be that pillar, that dominator, it becomes very overwhelming. How long can we do this? How long can we sustain this? This is the 7 day a week. The mom who has to take on, or the dad who has to take on multiple jobs just to make a living. What are we doing? Do we need a better education to get a higher pay raise instead of working 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 different jobs? Do we need a vocational practice that maybe that we could do to increase our profitability, right? There's more ways to do it than to sit and do the old immigrant pattern back in the 50s, working multiple 60s, 70s, 80s, working multiple jobs as an immigrant, trying to get into the United States. You see what happened there? All these beautiful immigrants said, well, I did it. Yes, but inflation has become something of atrocities. There doesn't seem to be any more ceilings. So we have to be able to block ourselves and become aware of connection of something greater than what it is, no matter your belief. So when we try to carry these things too much, it becomes overwhelming. And who do we help in the end? Nobody, because our health takes that beating. And when our health takes that beating, that's pretty sad, because here we are. And now nobody's being able to be fed, or the electrics, or the payments, because the person working those 2 and 3 different jobs, are working 24/7s and doesn't give the body a break. It's crumbling. The tower's crumbling, and it's crumbling around you. So become aware of this. It's very important. Spiritual connections remind us that we are always supported, even when we cannot see it. God, divine energy, always is in supporting. Speak, pray, reflect, and listen, because divine energy is always listening. Your angels, your masters, your guardians, they are always there listening to your prayers. But if you don't say your prayers and you just remain angry and going to bed watching horrific anger and violent shows, movies, news, your support is there, but they're sitting there going, what do you want me to do? Right? There is power of prayer, power of consciousness, of positivity. There's a huge power. Dive into it, encourage, and just go with the flow. Not out of desperation, but yet out of relationships. That's why we speak, we pray, we reflect, and we listen. No. Father, please forgive me. I'm sorry. I thank you and I love you. No. Compassion. You know, is going to have to do that one, right? Compassion. Let me take a quick break. You're listening to MBRradio.us. There's apps. You can go to Roku, Spotify, YouTube, Prime Fire Stick, Amazon. You can find our station in any live streaming platform of your choice, even in X, even in LinkedIn. They're all over the place. My name is MJ. My show here on MBR is called The World of Conscious Positive Thinking, but we do need to take a few minutes and then we'll be back. And we're going to still dive into compassion and daily practices and finish up with our heavy world's energy and how we can help ourselves just move in a different direction. All right, let's go climb some mountains with Beaker.
Dream big, start small, but most of all, start. Whenever things get rough or it feels like you're at the edge, remember this: storms pass.
Tough times don't last, but tough people do.
You're stronger than you know and braver than you feel. One waddle at a time.
Whenever things get rough or it feels like you're at the edge, remember this: storms pass.
Tough times don't last, but tough people do.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Okay, here we are. We're back. Back in the New York groove. Oh, Ace Frehley, I'm back. Here we go. So we're talking about compassion for others. Yeah. So what you see externally is not only a small part of someone's experience. Remember that. Just because you're watching it doesn't mean there's not a history or a trauma or something sufficient behind the words, the actions, or the tools of these people. When people act from fear, anger, or confusion, it often really reflects what they carrying with them, or from a different life. If you believe in reincarnation, they bring this energy with the Akashics, with their soul's energy, and here we are, right? You have no idea where it's coming from. There's times where all of a sudden I'm like, really? I just reacted in a fear? Oh, no. So I said, I tap it out. Why did I ask? Where's the fear? It didn't bite me. It didn't sting me if it's a bug. It didn't pulverize me. It didn't burn me. It didn't have any physical effect to this body. So that's how anytime that I feel an energetic or emotion of fear, and I ask myself if it's anger, what any of these negative emotions, is it part of fear? If I get a yes, look out, because we got some deep healing then to do, and I will do it right away. And that's where I'm No, I don't hope. I know that if you're listening out there, this is the same thing you're looking for. You're looking not to be angry. You're looking to be balanced again. You're looking to have that peace within again. And so when these little hiccups, find somebody to bring that peace if you don't know how. This is why we're here. This is why we're doing this. This does not mean that you can accept harmful behavior. I don't want you to believe that either. But it does allow you to respond without becoming consumed by it. So you can't accept somebody being harmful. I don't accept it. You're going to say, okay, what about the war? And I know that's really important for everybody right now. So without the war, think about this. Persia, Iran, there was no war. They were killing and abusing their own women, children, people who wanted to speak out against the regime. United States people for 47 years were slaughtered. Think about that. It's historically embedded in the 11 libraries that you can find for yourself online. Keep giving them. Understand what you're talking about before you flap your gums. That might help with some others because you're causing them to have this. Does that make sense? I made a comment. This was the one thing I did. So I made a comment to please become aware. I did it with love in my heart, knowing what I know and from who I know it from. Same like most of you people. If you have somebody living in a place and ask them questions of say, oh, this and this and this. So with Mexico, with the cartels, I had made a comment within my family. Be careful. Become aware. I know you're going. Become aware. Well, I was poo-pooed up one side, down another, inside, outside. I knew nothing, blah, blah, blah. I didn't say I knew anything. All I said was, become aware. Be cautious. That's all I said. Do you think there is underlying fear with that person who wanted to come back and slam me? Or do you think there is something else going on that when you just give somebody a cautionary, kind of love you, be aware. I understand you have to do your journey and you do you. I think if that's the case, they have an over-resounding fear or hatred. One of the two. Because the comment back was up one side and down the other. What did MJ do gracefully? Okay, boo-boo. That's on you. But I won't shed a tear if you get injured or died. I won't. I'm sorry. Because unfortunately, you were given ample, hey, heads up. And you refused. Whatever. Right? There's other people like that. There's other people in the world, not just that one person to me, but you understand that. I'm not telling you when you tell somebody, don't do it, don't go. I didn't say that. I said, become aware. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Become aware of what you're writing. I don't think there's wrong with that. I think when I tell people, are you consciously aware of where you found that information? And they get pissed off, that's on them. That's an egoic reaction. When I tell you that, it's sad. It is sad where the psyche has become because of the movement of the world's energy of shifting its patterns. It is just mind-boggling, and it's It's something that you have to constantly breathe and become aware. Never accept harmful behavior, ever. Compassion keeps your heart open. Boundaries keep your energy intact. And you need both of them. In order to have compassion, to keep my heart open, no matter what or no matter whom has either said, judged, whatever towards me or around me, my heart is still open and my boundaries just keep that energy away from me. But you do need both. So daily practices for conscious positivity. I stay in these practices. So begin your day, silence before engaging in the world. When you wake up, if you have somebody, a loved one or kid's child, then lay there with your eyes open. Don't even get out of bed. Begin your day with silence, with a smile and silence. Move your eyes, move them around. Watch every energy around you. Just keep moving your eyes, but remain there. Remain steady. Consistency matters more than intensity. So remain. Then we set clear intentions of how you want to show up in the day. I want to show up in a positive attitude. I want to show up not listening to outside realm. I want to show up and accomplish today X, Y, and Z. At the end of the day, I want to feel at peace. I want to feel accomplished. And I want to feel loved. You set your intentions, but these are my clear intentions, right? I limit exposure of unnecessary negativity. I walk away, I turn it off, I remove myself from a conversation. However, I have to remove myself, I do it. People go, MJ, up on the top of the mountain, you really, yeah, because I want to turn on the TV and it doesn't matter where I'm turning, there's something negative on. Landman, that's not a nice show. Yellowstone, you people are engaged in some of these violent shows. I don't understand violent shows. I don't understand why there's not more nicer, conscious comedies out there, right? Yeah. But hopefully in the future there will be. You never know. Move your body to release stored energy. If during the night you dreamed or you had a restless night, right? So now we're going to move our body, twist supines, right? Do your supines, twist in your bed, bring your knees up, bring your hands above your head, right? Move your body, release in these joints anywhere. So sit up on your bed, move your joints, move them around. Don't just fly out of go to the bathroom. That's what most people do, right? They wake up and they run to the bathroom. Maybe not take so much water before you go to bed. I don't know. I don't know how long you sleep, but you need to move your body. You just have to go to the bathroom, sit on the toilet and move your body. Move them all around, move from your waist, right? Do it on the bed. That's when you wake up. That's how I do it. And reflect at the very end of the day without judgment. Now, I'm going to tell you, I never used to do it, but in the trailer, before I went to bed at night, I did the same movements. I did the same movements with my joints. How are my joints feeling? Are they clicking when I'm moving them? How are my joints going, right? How is my hips joints doing? How is my knees joints? How are my ankle joints, right? At the end of the day, you want that energy gone, because if it's not gone, that energy that stores within us in our fascia, now you're going to have a restless night. But if you're moving your joints before you go to bed at night, and not to a point where your heart rate's 120, I'm not saying that, or above 120. I'm not saying go to the gym before you go to bed either. But it's, if you remove it, and then you can reflect the day at the end of the day without judgment. Thank you, God. Thank you for the connection of the network that you just gave me. Thank you, Lord, for the extra income that I might be getting, and you're opening that door for. Thank you for this beautiful delivery that came today. Thank you for the food that was created to nourish every cell of my body. Thank you. Is that hard? It's not really hard, but you have to become in a practice to do it. So all these little small actions build inner strength over time, right? So then now you have to be trusting in the process. So there will be moments when things feel really uncertain, that a part is just being human, right? There is that part. People go, I just want to be human. Well, what does that mean? Telling false stuff? Is that human? I don't like that human. Being rude, being mean, being intolerable. I don't like that human. I don't want to be that. You won't get any friends being that. You won't get any friends judging the world and thinking that your words are better than somebody else's words. That's what people do on social medias. They want to tell their friends and family how they think because they have an authoritative issue. They have a daddy issue, or they have a inner childhood issue that they haven't let go of yet. That's those people, right? Speaking in anger, speaking with judgment, speaking with frustration, speaking like you know. Have you seen those people yet? Let me tell you. Who are you? In the grand scheme of our galaxy, you are that little tiny speck of dirt on a fingernail, if that, in this galaxy. So the only person you're pissing off is you. And you're feeling gratification because you wrote something, shame on you. That's not gratification. That is giving in to sheep. That is giving in to bullying. That is giving in. This is not this. This isn't how we clear that energy. You need to stop that. Really, you do. I had to do it. That helped me. I told everybody, people don't believe, but I was an authoritative Capricorn. I was headstrong, bully Capricorn. I'd rather punch you in your throat chakra than to make things right. At 28, I started this journey. I look back at that girl going, wow, what survival tactics did you have to have in order to be that bullified? Woo! We all go through life purpose, soul purpose. Where are we at? What did we have to do? And we are all in these levels. My very first show was soul purpose. Life purpose, soul purpose. Front of one. Yep. Uncertainty does not mean instability. Growth often happens in the unknown to clarity. Back to clarity and compassion. Instead of asking, why is this happening? Try asking, what is this preparing me for? Don't say, what the F is going on? Saying, I understand this event is in front of me at the moment. Let's breathe into it. And what is the outlook? What is with making this choice? What is the rest of the choices going to happen here by making this choice? For every word that you say, for every choice that you do, there's always going to be something coming back. Always, 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 always. There's always going to be something. Just saying. Trust is not about having all of the answers. It's about knowing that you will navigate whatever comes your way. That is truth and trust. Hey, MJ, look, I'm sorry. I stole the lighter. Oh, I see. Why did you steal that? Why couldn't we just buy it? Why did you think that you were entitled to take it? Why did you think you were entitled to say it? Why did you think you were entitled just to do it? Entitlements. But we have to have the trust to know that we're navigating whatever comes our way. So as we're moving forward in the world through all of these change and challenges and growth, please remember these very important things. You are not here to absorb the chaos. You are here to move through it with awareness and consciousness. You are not here to be compelled by external energy. You are here to remain grounded within your own energy. Positivity is not a mask. It is a conscious choice. Spirituality is not escaped. It is presence. And when you bring all of these together, you become steady in a world that is constantly shifting its energy. I'm going to give you some examples. But I want everybody right now to do something very simple. If you're out there, okay? Tap your thymus. Can you see my thymus? Tap it. It sounds hollow. Now we're going to breathe in deeply and exhale slowly. Okay, ready? Feel where you are. Breathe again. Keep tapping. Feel your presence. Breathe in again. This is your center. You can return to it anytime. Exhale. Hope you felt that, because it's true to form. And when it's true to form, moving through the world's energy in 2026 requires consistency in spiritual practice, grounding, and initial discernment rather than reactionary, high-intensity efforts. The current energetic environment is marked by significant personal and collective shifts, often feeling chaotic and overwhelming. We've talked about this now for an hour and 21 minutes. So I want to give you a navigation guide based on the forecasting of 2026. Yep, we call it the spiritual forecasting. You call it whatever you want. So grounding and stabilizing. We talked about this, right? Embrace grounding practices. It is a 100% must in all divine spiritual practices and religions. Embrace it. With rapidly changing energy, grounding is crucial to avoid losing your footing in this life. This includes walking in nature, meditative walking, or spending time with your pet, sitting by the water, sitting yoga, oming, watching a fire burn. These are all grounding practices. Your nervous system care. Prioritize your sleep. 7 to 9 hours, not 4 to 6, 7 to 9 hours resets every cell in your body and move gently into a release stress hormone. So when you can sleep 7 to 9 hours, you move gently to release all these stress hormones because that fear lapsed. Wait, I only took a nap for like 3 or 4 hours, got up, blah, 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 and then went back to bed, blah, 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 blah. That's not a continuous 7 to 9 hours of sleep. If you can rest your body continuously to 7 to 9 hours, you're going to say, MJ, I can't. Get some help doing it. That's all I have to say. When somebody says, I can't, you get some help to do it. Everybody can sleep 7 to 9 hours. Some people say, look at President Trump only said, okay. And maybe his body, it capable. But most people's bodies, for an average immunity system, average 7 to 9 hours. Physiological sighings. Okay. Use the technique. One big inhale. Ready? With a quick inhale. And then long exhale. We just did that practice, but I didn't do the second inhale. So it's always good to take a big inhale because most people, when they breathe, they like get stuck. So just 2 quick ones. And then hold it. Long exhale. As long as you can to get every air. 3 to 5 times. Repeat it. Repeat it 3 times a day. Do it 5 times, becomes more physiological sighing. Right? Get it out. Get outside. Get away from the computers and the TVs. Step outside. Daily short doses of nature help rebuild a sense of holistical balance within our body. This comes from the wholeness site. You must step out and ground into nature. Cultivating consciousness, internal state. This is the second one. So internal and cultivating our consciousness, right? So now we are to be the observer. Practice being the awareness behind your thoughts rather than identifying with them. Embrace silence. Make time for silent, unplugged movements and process the intense mental clutter. We talked about this. This is in cultivating conscious of how we're doing this. We also talked about daily consistency. One simple, consistent daily practice, like 10 minutes of meditation, morning journaling, morning presentation of your expectations of the positive conscious day. We talked about that, is more effective than intermittent high intensity efforts. Audit your focus, right? So we're auditing our focus. Stop looking to the external world to fix our internal state of being. Focus on your own reactions and your own emotional triggers. Don't worry what everybody else. Fix you. If something's triggering you, what you read, what you saw, what you taste, what you smelled, if it's triggering you, you fix it. Again, you're absorbing an energy being tossed your way. You have a choice whether to deny the energy and stay with calm within the chaos and understand that it has nothing to do directly with you. You're not a ground soldier. You're not a pilot. You're not a Navy seaman. You're not in the cabinets. You're not in the infantry. You're not anywhere part of what is happening in the moment. Accept the news that you get, or do your own research at CENTCOM or any other library that we have been giving in this long order. I'll put them up again and constantly put them up. Get your information and use your interpretation centers. Stop relying on somebody else's interpretation centers. That's it. So edit your focus. Stop looking into the external world to fix your internal struggles. 3, we're going to navigate the world, right? So navigating the world, external's energy. Practice discernment. Guard your time and be selective with who and what you let in. Not every invitation is a divine opportunity, and some are tests in disguise. Have discernment what you're believing. Limit media consumption. Intentionally limit news and social media to avoid doom scrolling, which can then drain your energy because you went down the rabbit hole. When you start scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and you went down the rabbit hole, and now you're going to get triggered. Stop it. Just stop it for the moment until you can get back and get grounded, get sourced, get rebirth for peace, love. No matter what's going on, find your source. Stop yelling at somebody because they don't think like you. Stop hating somebody who doesn't think like you. Stop it. The people who love you, who are trying to say, where did you find that? Maybe they're in love to help you understand you went one over the cuckoo's nest. That's for everybody. What radio did you take to have this compacting energy? It's horrific. Establish boundaries. Learn to say no. We talked about this. No, no, no. That's not possible right now without guilt. I'm sorry. It's just not possible for me at the moment. I'm sorry. I can't do that at the moment. I would love to be in this conversation. However, I have nothing positive to give it. Oh, I would love to speak that truth, but that truth is filled with irreparable problems that I don't want anybody else to have because I want to speak it. This is on me. And understand, your anger, your resentment, no matter what is happening, is on you because you can't balance. We have to balance ourselves. And then we seek community. We find like-minded people, Community building helps create a sense of safety, and it reduces the desperation of the current times that we're in. Specific themes for 2026 spiritually, though, is the fire horse, and it's a number 1 year. It's a rebirthing year. The authenticity over performance in 2026 is a year as in one in numerology, and it's the fire horse year. So favoring fast, authentic action rather than slow, accommodating patterns. So ripping the Band-Aid off. Here we go. Boom. Ripping it off and moving, ripping it off and moving. They're not going to care about somebody's feelings. It's going to be fast. Why? Because you can sit with your feelings, but there is a shift of energy and it's going to happen. If you remain still, it's going to happen with or without you. It's kind of like, I love when people go, well, I'm going to leave my job, as if they're not going to find somebody to replace you. You are replaceable. Maybe some of your ideas aren't, but maybe they have fresh ideas, or maybe they have better ideas, or maybe they have other ideas. Understand, right? Rebuild your life. If you feel like you're lost, accept it. In the transition phasing here, if you just accept it, a cosmic opening for clearing out old patterns, old belief systems, junk that no longer is vital anymore. People are cleaning out their homes. I'm for one. I can't believe this energy, this fire horse is allowing me to throw a lot of my stuff that I thought was very sentimental. Not, I'm learning it. It's hard, right? Cosmic opening for clearing out old and limiting those patterns and starting, a new 9-year cycle here. This is number 1 year. So for the next 9 years, every year will be 2, 3, 4, on and on. So we're rebuilding, right? This is a child being reborn in year 1. So enjoy it. Rebirth. Take off those shields and take off those old belief patterns and remove them. If they're hatred following you, remove them. Act on truth. And 2026 energy supports acting on what is true to you, not just dreaming about what is true for you. Mantras. Does anybody have their mantras for 2026? The universe supports me as I move through life, including my challenges that arise physically, mentally, physiologically, emotionally, and spiritually. To give more tailored ways or views, let's look at types of meditations for intense stress versus just confusion, right? Because everybody goes, is it just stress or am I just confused, right? How many people out there go, I'm not sure if I am confused about this or if, calming a nervous energy. How about that, right? So for intense stress, our goal is to deactivate that fight or flight. You know those moods, those moods where people are like, I either have to fight or I got to go. One of the two. Like soldiers, fight or flight, right? Here we come with a disagreement, or you're in protesters and you're protesting, and now you got the radicals coming. Are we going to fight or flight? Which one are we? Wow. This response by grounding your body. You have to do this. Intense stress. You have to do it. Ground this body. For confusion, the objective is to clear the mental clutter for clarity by anchoring your awareness to the present moment. So meditation for intense stress, calming the nervous system. When stress is high, cognitive meditations can be very difficult. And I'm with you with that. Focus on physical, somatic practices to signal safely and safety to your brain, right? So high stress cognitive meditation is very difficult. I'm with you. Okay. So we want to stay to signal safety to the brain. So progressive muscle relaxation. It's like a body scan. Ready? Mentally scan the body from your head. Everything okay? Everything okay? My eyes, my ears, anything feeling out of whack? This is a mental, this is progressive muscle relaxation. So a mental scan of your body, right? To heal from your head to your toe, noticing tensions or consciously releasing the emotion that is contributing. Nope. We don't need this. We don't need this emotion. We don't need this sensation. It is the shifting of the focus from stressful thoughts to our physical relief patterns. And then we go into the breathing. Yep. 4-7-8 technique. Inhale 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. This is for confusion, right? Remember, we said there's a difference between meditation for intense stress, calming the nervous system, right? So we have to really be careful as we look at this. So that relaxation breath is a little bit different than our sigh relief. Right? So deep breathing helps lower your heart rate and quiet the mind carefully. How many people who have white coat syndrome, right? Here's an example. You go in and all of a sudden you feel great, but all of a sudden you have your yearly checkup and they first take your temperature and you're like, oh, no good. And then they want you to step on a scale and you're like, right? Now you know your BMI index, you're this, they're going to talk about cholesterol, and you're going to get it. Because you stepped on a scale. So then what happens? Your heart starts like this. It starts palpitating because, oh my God. And now they're going to take your blood pressure. Instead of taking your blood pressure when you get there first, instead of all this other Sugar Ray Leonard stuff. Right. Now take my weight. Now you're going to make my blood pressure go up. Right? So now you have the deep breathing technique. So I already know this. So I tell them, you need to give me a couple of minutes here before you take my blood pressure. And I will do this deep breathing techniques because I already know that scale is weighing way too much for me right now. Back on the chubby chicken program in the military, right? So I breathe. I breathe. Hold it. Talk to myself. MJ, of course they're going to tell you. That's their job to tell you. Why are you fearing it? So you have to listen to it. The truth is going to hurt your little soul. Like I talk myself into not being clarity is there. The clarity is always there. I'm not trying to change the position that I'm in, because obviously that would require months of dieting and whatever, So anyway, deep breathing helps break that. And think about it. Next time you have a high blood pressure, say, hey, give me a couple minutes. You can walk around for at least 2 minutes, do a breathing technique, and then all of a sudden come back. So, okay. The vagus nerve stimulation, humming, softly humming, during meditation stimulates the vagus nerve. It vibrates the body. It increases a higher vibration of a conscious awareness, which helps regulate your nervous system and reduces anxious thoughts just by humming. So if you're standing in line and at the grocery and it says 10 items only, and it's clear that somebody has 20 items, and then there's a price check with the 20 items, and you're sitting in line having your patience, break it up for those who don't understand patience and compassion. Okay. And then the last one is the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique. This is a sensory-based technique where you can identify 5 things that you can see. So it's the 5 things you can see, the 4 that you can touch, the 3 that you can hear, 2, that you smell, and the 1 that you can taste. This is 5-4-3-2-1 grounding. This amplifies all the sensories of all of your sensory techniques that you have. This pulls you out of a stressful spiral and back into your immediate environment. 5 things you see, 4 things you touch, 3 things you hear, 2 items you smell, and 1 you taste. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is so challenging because you're like, oh, so that one, I have to tell you, I go a little cuckoo because I'm like, do I really want to taste what I'm looking at? So you have to be conscious of where you're tasting and what you're looking at that one. But it is 5-4-3-2-1 grounding is really a good technique. It really is. Just don't be MJ going, oh, I don't want to lick that, taste that, smell that. Let me find something else. But it takes your mind off the debacle of whatever stress event is happening. So everything's good for everybody. A reason for a season. It always is. So the meditation for confusing, finding clarity, confusions. So confusion often stems from rumination or overthinking. So rumination is what the streaming, live media, streamline medias, social medias, these things. This is where the ruminations come from, or the overthinking process that stimulates. So these meditations help observe thoughts without getting swept away by them. So awareness of breath, 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 breath. Is that becoming a current theme of how to move through the energy, breath work? Focus acutely on the sensations of air entering and leaving your nostrils. The breath is a constant anchor to return to whatever your mind begins to wander or spiral into confusion. So I had Miss Kim almost 2 years ago now. She did a show on breath work, and we were right in the middle of a hurricane. She was in Myrtle Beach. And the hurricane was almost knocking at her door up there in Myrtle Beach. But I asked her to go through all the different breathing techniques, the lion and some of them are fun. And some of them, you have to look past the fun or the foolishness of how it looks on the face, the physical look, and then understand the awareness of how it's healing the centers within us. So yes, use the breath as a constant anchor. And then you have thought labeling. As thoughts arise in our bodies, they arise by a label. Remember, you're judged. Most people are judged by a bread wrapper, right? Oh, I don't like that bread. Why? Because it's wheat. Well, that's what the wrapper said, but what's on the inside? Did you even taste it? No, it's wheat. I don't like it. Did you try it? No, but I know I don't like it. Thought labeling. That's thought labeling, right? Or people thought label me. As a spiritualist, by the time I was 28, they can't even understand how I could be in the military and be a spiritualist or a conscious energist. I find that, why? I can't believe you're an artist and you're a spiritualist. I can't believe you're a teacher and you're a spiritualist. I can't believe, I could say the same thing. That's on them, not on me, but that's on them because they labeled it. Labeling is awful. These thought labeling is thoughts arise, label as you worry, planning, or memory rather than engaging with their content. This creates emotional distance and helps you see the clutter for what it is within. So that's your thought or emotional labeling. Open awareness, right? The cloud meditation, the awareness. Imagine your thoughts as clouds. Imagine all these thoughts. You ever see the thought cloud, that you would put, thought of the, Joel does it, the thought of the day, right? He puts a little cloud box, right? So there's your cloud meditation, the thoughts and the clouds passing through a wide open sky, right? There's those clouds. What are you saying to me, clouds, right? And are you the sky, vast and clear, while the confusion is just the weather passing through it? That's what I want to be. I want to be that blue sky and just allow the clouds just to pass through me, no matter what they are. EFT tapping, right? I understand my body is ill, but I know my body can heal myself. I know my body 3 times, right? The top of your head, over your brow, over your temples, on your lower, right? On your stasher 3 times. I understand my body is ill, but my body can heal itself. I understand my body is ill, or whatever you say, right? However you want to say it. I know that I have auto and neuroimmunity, so my EFT tapping resets, right? And then my ribs, and then your wrists. So EFT tapping, you can look it up, those tapping points. It can help move energy from a state of being in a stuckness or confusion toward clarity and resolution. Trauma, stress, somatic is probably the best energetic relief that I've ever found. Opening up the hips, opening up the back area of your necks, and you need to open. These are trauma points. So somatic therapies can actually open up those trauma areas or issues. So practice tips from both sides, so or from both states of mind. You start small. If you are highly stressed or confused, then you aim for just like 2 or 3 minutes initially, and then you build it up. Use guide resources, right? So when your mind just gets a little too busy of that self-doubt, that self-direct, that self-sabotaging, use guided sessions from sources you can put out there, any type of source. They have beautiful practitioners out there that have them. Even Mayo Clinic has these guided resources or structured apps to provide necessary framework for you to practice that both states of mind. Your clear sensory anchoring, this, to have cold sensory, it's like a deep plunge, not clear, cold. Your cold sensories. So if you're too overwhelmed to sit still, hold an ice cube. Hold an ice cube. I'm serious. The intense cold sensation forces your focus into the present moment, which would force it into the hands because it's very cold. So it's called a cold sensory anchoring and an acting immediate mental release. So anybody who has PTSD, this is probably a practice that one of your therapists probably gave you. Immediately go to cold sensory anchoring. Take your hand, stick it in cold, take an ice cube, bring it in, put your ice cube in the back of your neck. Somewhere, put the ice cube to redirect the focus of the mental acuity situation for the immediate reset of the mental mind. So, okay. This is why and how we can easily function and move through this world's energy. So we're going to go back and we're going to end this with the little prayer. Okay. Reflecting. I'm going to repeat it. As we move forward in the world through change, challenge, and growth, remember this. You are not here to absorb the chaos. You are here to move through it with the awareness of learning, balancing, and educating. You are not here to be controlled by external energies. You are here to remain grounded within your own energies and allowing the balance to become a conscious positive awareness. Positivity is not a mask. It is a conscious choice that we get to make. Spirituality is not an escape. It is a presence. And when you bring these two things together, you become steady in a world that is constantly shifting. We're going to breathe one more time. Get ready. Here we go. Close your eyes. Breathe in deeply. Take another breath. Hold. Hold. Exhale slowly. Feel where you are right now. Feel your presence. Feel the energies around you. Take another deep breath in. Another one. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Exhale long and slow. This is your center. Remember it. You can always return to it at any time. I'm MJ. This is the world of conscious positive thinking. It is here to help. It is here to guide. It is here to lessen the heartache, the pain that most go through. These are just techniques. Find techniques that work for you. Find the verbiage and tones that work for balance. And remain out of this chaos. If you don't have any part of it and you are not in it, it's not for you to judge it. It's not for you to condemn it. It's not for you to speak about it. Do your own thing. Do you. Stop doing everybody else. And allow divine to take whatever it needs to take and remove it out of your existence. Because you don't need it. At any given time or point, you don't need it. You are all that you need. Find your breath, find your internal soul, and find your conscious awareness without judgment, without prejudices, without bias, without racisms, without disgust. And ask yourself, are the conscious morals, what I learned as a child, and those belief systems, are they still right today? Or has that changed? I mean, we're not bludgeoning our firstborns like the Egyptians, and we're not throwing, our first child in a volcano like the Polynesians. So I guess we are changing. Here's for trusting God's divine plan and moving forward and removing what some no longer serves a purpose and assisting those to find what does serve a purpose. We're all here. We are the I am consciousness. Please, brothers and sisters, instead of writing, instead of reacting, stay quiet, stay calm. Right? That's the best thing we could do. All right, folks, I got to run. Next week will be the 27th. It's a good number. I love the number 27. It's a 9. That's me. I'm a 9, 27. And I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be helping people become aware and to teach sometimes things that they just don't go together very well. You know what I mean? And when that happens, we're all good because there's always a way to the highest point that we need to take. So this is MJ right here on mbradio.us signing off. I'll be back next week. May you have a beautiful, beautiful week, and may abundance flow within you, and may the fire horse remove whatever obstacle that you need removed in order to make your abundance and peace and happiness work for you. See you next week, folks.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket. A reminder that you can weather the storm, and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25, and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at mbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up, stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.